Now, what are some of examples of paralinguistic features or extralinguistic features or non-verbal features? One, the use of gestures. Some people call it gesticulation. Gesticulation. The use of gestures or gesticulation. The use of gestures or gesticulation. Stretching your hand. Stretching your hand, that's a gesture. Waving is the gesture. Swinging is a gesture. Pointing is a gesture. Clapping, thumping, raising your hand, spreading your hands, shaking your hands. All those examples of what? Gestures. All those examples of waving. All those examples of gestures. A gesture is the first example of an extra-linguistic or a non-verbal cue. Secondly, there's something we call facial expression. Facial expression. Smiling is a facial expression. Nodding is a facial expression. Frowning, blinking is a facial expression. Widening your eyes is a facial expression. Eye contact is facial expression. Winking. Since someone closes one eye, winking is a form of facial expression. So that facial expression is a paralinguistic feature. Body movement. Bending, stretching one's body, enlarging the stomach, curtsing and bowing. There's curtsing, then there's bowing. Curtsing, then there is bowing. Mostly common among the Japanese, the Chinese, Taiwanese, most Asian communities. People related to the Chinese, their form of acknowledgement or respect is mostly bowing and curtsing. Most Asians do that. Then you have shaking one's body movement. Then you have dramatization. We have dramatic aspects like acting out scenes, like jumping, etc. That's dramatization. There's a slight difference between body movement and dramatization. Dramatization basically is meant to enhance a certain message. Body movement is meant to pass across a message. So there's a difference between the two. There's a difference between body movement and dramatization. So one, non-verbal cues, we have gestures, we have facial expressions, we have body movement, we have dramatization. Next we have what we call pregnant pauses. Pregnant pauses. A pregnant pause is a significant and a meaningful pause, a break to achieve certain effect, such as suspense. I'm giving a speech in class, then at a particular point I pause. I break to enhance suspense. Secondly, I also break so that my message can sink into my audience. The message can sink into the audience. The audience can internalize your message. Then we have mimicry. Now mimicry, let me make it clear. Mimicry is both verbal and non-verbal at the same time. It's both verbal and non-verbal. Because mimicry simply, it is the imitation of sound and mannerism. Imitation of sound, specific certain animals or being during narration. If I come in class and I imitate the way the teacher talks, that is sound. If I come to class and imitate the way the teacher walks, that is mannerism. So if I use sound, that becomes a verbal cue. If I use mannerism, it becomes an non-verbal cue. That's why mimicry can both be verbal and non-verbal. Because mimicry is simply the imitation of sound and mannerism. The imitation of sound and mannerism. So basically, those are the non-verbal cues that we have in English. We have gestures, we have facial expressions, we have body movement, we have dramatization, we have pregnant pauses, we have mimicry, among others. So let's go further and look at something different. There's something we call oral devices. What are these oral devices? What are these oral devices? Now, oral devices are simply signals that support the verbal message. Oral devices are signals that support the verbal message. Oral devices are signals that support the verbal message. These are cues used during an oral presentation or an oral performance to achieve meaningful and effective or a successful presentation. So an oral device is a signal that supports a verbal message, and it is used during an oral presentation. It is used during an oral performance to achieve meaningful and effective or successful presentation. You need to note that one must mention the exact cue and how they are applied practically. You must mention the exact cue and how it is applied practically. It comes in the form of poetry, paper 1, or a narrative based on performance in paper 1. They can pick a line in that poem, then they ask you, how will you perform line 7 of the poem? Or how will you perform line 4 of the poem? Now you must mention the exact cue that you will use. You must mention the exact cue and how you will apply practically. That's where the students go wrong. Someone says, I will use a facial expression when saying Joseph. No. Apply it practically. I will apply a sad face to indicate the sorrow Joseph went through as he lost his herd of cattle. I will wear a sad facial expression on line 7 to indicate the sadness Joseph felt when he said the words, oh God, after losing his herd of cattle. Be practical. Tell us exactly how you're going to apply that facial expression. How you're going to apply that tonal variation. For example, how will you perform line 6 of the poem? I will vary the tone of my voice to indicate excitement while mentioning the words hallelujah when I receive the good news. I will vary the tone of my voice to indicate happiness. Don't say I will use tonal variation when saying line 7. Don't say I will use a gesture when saying line 3. How will you perform line 3? I will wave my hands to indicate how maybe Kamau was waving frantically to the people in the desert to see him. So you go back to the poem, do what we call contextual analysis. Look at what the line is talking about. Then go back to the question. The question says, how will you perform line 7? When they say, how will you perform, give preference to non-verbal cues. When they say, how will you say, give preference to what? Verbal cues. However, you can combine the two. You're not restricted. How will you say line 7? Go to verbal cues. How will you perform line 7? Start with a non-verbal cue. However, you can combine. Now, very important point on oral devices. You must mention the exact cue and how you will apply it practically. Now let's go further and look at some examples of these oral devices. Body language that shows alertness on the part of the audience. You're performing a narrative. You're giving a speech. What are some of the body languages that show that your audience is alert when you perform it? One, when they're nodding. If they're nodding their head in approval or disapproval, they're following. If they're smiling, they're responding to something that you're saying. Number 2. If they're clapping, it's also a form of approval of what you're talking about. Applauding. Now there's a difference between clapping and applauding. You can use those as 2 points. Clapping basically involves the use of hands, but applauding is more than clapping. Laughing, if you're saying something comical and they laugh, it indicates they're following. Upright posture indicates they're attentive. Leaning forward could also indicate they are attentive. So that's example of body language that shows alertness on the part of the audience. You get a question like, you're giving a speech, you're narrating a narrative to a class. How will you know that your audience is following? Use those, don't list. Explain. If they're nodding in approval, they're smiling, they're responding to such things. Ways in which the audience can contribute towards a successful delivery of a narrative. How can an audience contribute towards a successful delivery of a narrative? One, if they join in choral parts of that narrative, they're helping you perform. If they clap and applaud. Thirdly, if they cheer. If they tell parts of the story, they help you narrate parts of the story. If they nod in agreement, all those indicate that your audience is following. Then there's one more part I'd like us to look at very fast. These are conventional ways of attracting attention when you're giving a narrative or you're performing anything. One, you can tell a relevant proverb related to what you're talking about. You can give an appropriate or summarizing riddle. You can use an appropriate opening phrase. Introductory statement, for example, I have a story, take a story, or story. Whistling, clearing a throat, or clapping. All those are conventional ways of attracting attention. We shall continue further with the paper 1, oral skills mostly, in our next class. That's for now. Stay safe. Enjoy your time.